Hello everyone, my name is Jen and welcome to the Book Refuge and welcome to, oh my gosh, a book haul. And I'm in a position I haven't filmed in a while, so I feel like naked because we're seeing all the open things, but I wanted to sit in front of the window again and like have my candles behind me. I don't know, whatever, it's a weird thing. The point is going to be the books anyway. So as you can tell, this is going to be a book haul, and I was going to try to wait until after Christmas and have all of my gifts in it and everything, because I do have a wish list for books that I want. If you wonder which you can get the girl who has everything, I do have a Amazon wish list that's always linked down below, and I have gotten a few presents sent to it already. And I also have a P.O. box down below as well. But the thing is that if I wait until after then, I will have so many books, and I actually want to put some of them on my shelves because they complete a couple of series, and I just want it to look cute, okay? This is really all about how it looks for me, okay? So we're going to do kind of a medium size haul. I mean, it's still a pretty good size book haul, but we'll try to go through it pretty quickly and maybe actually have a video that's less than 20 minutes. We shall see. So let's go ahead and dive in, and we will start with some gifts that I was sent already. Some of them from my wish list, some of them just because people are amazing. So Jessica from Peace Love Books, she sent me Undone by the Excon from by Talia Hibbert. So I've been wanting to read more of Talia Hibbert's indie books. I really loved one of her other series, the Ravenwood series, because it had some very interesting characters and some amazing diversity, not just racial diversity, but also neurodiversity, which was amazing. So this one is supposed to be about this heroine who finds out that she has diabetes and is now living with that, and then also there's an ex-con, and I thought that would be really interesting. So thank you so much, Jessica, for sending this to me. I can't wait to read this one. Then one of my longtime channel viewers, channel members, and she's just been a friend of the channel for a very long time, is Carrie from Fantastically Taboo Books, and she sent me the Beautifully Cruel Duet by J.T. Geisinger. And if you didn't know, these books actually precede the Queens and Monsters series, and the Black brothers are who these are about, and they are Irish mobsters, and they play into the Queens and Monsters series in an interesting way. And I've read them. I've listened to the audiobooks, but I didn't own these yet. So thank you so much, Carrie. Oh, they're so pretty, and I'm very happy to be expanding my J.T. Geisinger collection because I'm kind of obsessed with her, if you didn't know. Then I was sent to my P.O. box by one of my viewers. I don't think that I kept the note for this one. Well, I did, but I didn't keep it in it because it was this pretty card. But this viewer sent me pretty much the entire, what's the series name? The Darkest London series by Kristen Callahan. So literally books 1 through 9 or 1 through 7 they sent me, which is awesome. I actually had a copy of Firelight and Winter Blaze, but they were pretty beat up copies, so I'm very excited to try these ones. These I believe are a steampunk London. So there's Firelight, Moonglow, Winter Blaze, Shadow Dance, Evernight, Soulbound, and Forevermore. So I'm very interested in this series, and I think they could be a good one to try in 2022. So always getting these to sit up here is an interesting one. Then she also sent me Destiny's Captive, which I did not have yet. I definitely want to read more Beverly Jenkins in 2022 as well. I've only read Indigo so far, but I have heard great things about her books, obviously. I mean, honestly, I've always been really intimidated by them, but once I read Indigo, I was like, nope, these are just good shit. This is going to be great. So thank you so much for those. These will probably not stay up, but we'll do our best. So then some, oh yeah, I forgot this one too. My best friend, Shauna, who is not a booktuber, but she is my best friend, who's given me amazing book recommendations through the years. She sent me Hostage by Annika Martin and Skye Warren, which is the second book in the Captives and Criminals. Well, it's a series, but currently there's only 2 books. We don't know if there'll ever be any more, which is kind of sad. This writing duo, I don't know if they just like, if they couldn't continue to write together, like what happened, but I loved Prisoner. I really, really enjoyed that book. I read it back in, it was the beginning of October that I read it, but I love the covers on these books, so I'm very excited to try this one. This one I think is about the like leader of the gang, kind of, because these guys aren't like fully mafia. They're this like group of kids that like banded together basically, and now they're like kind of a gang, I don't know. But the first one is a like break out of prison book, so I'm very excited for that one. Then I purchased for myself Brutal Defender and Deviant Hacker. These are books 8 and 9 in the Mafia Wars. Yes, we are almost complete with the Mafia Wars series, which has basically been going all the year long and is amazing. This one is about Killian O'Malley and Ariana, I think, is the heroine. And this one, yes, Ariana, and this one is arranged marriage. It's like the only arranged marriage in her whole series, which is so rare for Mafia, because she writes a lot of like normal girl and a Mafia guy, and they're also like older, so I really enjoy that. But yeah, this one is the Irish Mafia meets the Italians, and it actually starts to set up the next series that Maggie will be writing, which will be a spin-off from Mafia Wars. And then I can't wait to reread this book. I do not have the time right now because I'm rereading all of my like favorites of 2021, but this one was very close to being a favorite. I ended up liking Savage Tracker a little more than this one, but this one is a captor-captive daddy kink, and it actually has the youngest heroine that Maggie has in this series. She's only in her early 20s and our hero's in his 40s, and he kidnaps her because he thinks she has done, well, she did do something that's messing with him, but she isn't aware of what she's doing because she was kind of tricked into doing it. It's a very interesting situation, and so he captures her to try to get information from her, and he decides to do a little bit of sexual coercion on her, and it's delightful. Then I had to get my beautiful special edition copy of Planet Barbarians, because what kind of booktuber would I be if I didn't? I do think this cover is absolutely glorious. I don't really have a problem with the original covers, but the things that they're doing for these special editions are so pretty. So I'm very excited to have this. Then some other books that I have just purchased from Barnes & Noble. I'll go through those ones. This one is not a romance. It is still it's a YA sci-fi, but I have to finish this series out. I absolutely loved the first 2 books in the series. So I have Cytonic Cytonic, I think is what it is, by Brandon Sanderson, and this is kind of a trying to save our planet, young people grouped in the military, this badass heroine who is really kind of down on her luck and everybody thinks badly of her, but she's very skillful and good at what she does. She is just the daughter of a trader, and so nobody wants to give her a chance to be a trader as well. One of those things. But yeah, I'm very excited to see what happens with Spenza and see how it all plays out. So I also really, really love AI, and this one has a friendly little AI in it, and I love that stuff. So I'm very intrigued. Then of course, Outlander, which y'all know, this is book number 9. Already read this. I bought this in 3 different versions when it came out so that I could get through it in 3 days. I regret nothing. It was absolutely wonderful. Then I came across these beautiful editions of classics, and I'm actually going to order the Pride and Prejudice one of it. But these classics are by, because some people asked me when I showed a picture of it, they're by Chiltern. And so this is a copy of Jane Eyre, and it has gold sprayed edges, The pages are very like sturdy. They're actually like that shiny paper, which isn't the greatest, but I understand why they have it done in that. And it's very hefty. Like, this is hefty. But they had all of Jane Austen's are done in this. They have like flowers or patterns on them. But of course, the Pride and Prejudice is like sold out, and not just sold out at my Barnes & Noble, like it's sold out in a lot of places. So, but yeah, Chiltern is the people that redid these. I'd never heard of that before, but I do collect pretty versions of Jane Eyre and Pride and Prejudice. I don't have a ton of them because I don't just want whatever version I find. I want really pretty ones. So I have kind of like a gothic cover of Pride and Prejudice, and I have a really cool edition. Like, I just like to get these. So, and this was expensive. It was $25 for this, when a lot of times these are like 10 or 15, but I just had to have it. So I did. Add to my collection. I got Someone Perfect by Mary Below. I love Mary Below. Balog. Sorry, I always say Below. I know it's Balog. I believe this is supposed to be the last book in the Westcott series, because I noticed in upcoming books that there's going to be a new series that she's starting. So I've read every book in the Westcott series. I started that series like 7 years ago. It's kind of amazing. So I'm very excited to read this one. But I have to be in a mood for Mary Balog because she's not very spicy. I grabbed Lady Maggie's Secret Scandal. I almost have all of the Wyndham books, even though I ended up not reading Lady Sophie's Christmas Wish when everyone else did for the Historical Romance Readathon, because they all said it was pretty boring. However, the Eyre, which is the first book in the Wyndham series, because there's the Three Sons, which is called the Wyndham's Eyre, like whatever, and then there's the Wyndham's The Duke's Daughters, and it's about all of the daughters, of which there are many. So I wanted to get this to like complete that, but I don't know when I'll read them. It's more of, I actually really love the covers on these ones, so I'm going to keep buying them, even though I don't know when I'll read them. Then another one I've already read, I got All the Feels by Olivia Dade. I listened to this on Anyplay. I loved it. I gave it 4.5, 5 stars. I was very impressed by this couple. I really liked the uniqueness of the characters, and the hero is just so obsessed with the heroine and like putting her first. I loved it so much. I know that Olivia Dade's writing style doesn't work for everybody, but like, I don't care. I don't care. Spoiler alert, didn't work for me as well, but this one did. I also already read The Warlord by Gina Showalter. This was my first Gina Showalter. I really loved this cover and the blurb specifically, because the blurb said 30 days to wed a virgin, 30 days to sacrifice her, 30 nights to resist temptation. And I just liked it. And basically he forces this woman to marry him. She is she's not a Valkyrie, she's a harpy, and she's supposed to be a virgin to lead her people to be a harpy general, and he is supposed to marry a woman and then sacrifice her after 30 days, and she's supposed to stay a virgin for him. And there's a whole bunch more complicated stuff, but I liked this one a good amount. I gave it 4 stars, and I'm interested in reading more Gina Showalter, but this was a fun one. Then my Barnes & Noble actually had some indie published books that I was pretty interested in. So I grabbed Guild by Raven Kennedy. I've heard a lot of really good things about this, and it's really pretty, so I definitely want to try this one soon. I've heard good things, and I believe this is like a Midas retelling of some kind. Yeah, King Midas and a woman made of gold too. I don't know, but I've heard good things on TikTok. And then I actually didn't own a copy of Sinner yet. This is book 2 in like the Bell Brothers series. They're like kind of standalones, but they also go together. And Barnes & Noble happened to have it. So I was like, oh, this one's on my wish list. Let me just snap that up. So I've read this not many years ago, but a few years ago now. Back when I first read Priest, right? And then, yeah, everything else is some historicals that I bought when I was home for Thanksgiving. So we're going to dive through those because I found some really cool ones. So let's do it. I got A Deal with the Devil by Liz Carlisle. I'm trying to collect more of hers. I've only read one, but I really liked it. And the one that I read was like number 17 in a series. So that was interesting. A Rogue's Embrace by Margaret Moore. And a lot of these covers are for either like Stepback Saturday or Flashback Friday. Particularly, I found some of these books by this author named Marlisle Rogers, and they have absolutely beautiful stepbacks, but based on what Goodreads said, that these are really bad books, but they have really pretty stepbacks, so I got them anyway. So we have Twilight Secrets. This one actually doesn't have a step back, but I thought it had a really cool cover. Memories of the Heart. It's like Irish and it's green and gold. Once Upon a Time, which I did use this step back. Look at it. It has a rainbow and like, I think is there a unicorn? There's not a unicorn in this one, but I just loved this cover so much, or this step back. And then Chanting the Storm. And this dude, look at his staff. It's amazing. So then I got another Shannon Drake, Night Triumphant. This one, I just really like the cover. I'd never heard of this author before either. And this is Ever a Princess by Rebecca Hagan Lee. That is a cool cover. Very pink, very beautiful. And I believe this series, it's about like it says the 15th Marquess of Templeton charged his son Andrew to support his beloved mistresses and any children born of their bodies. As discretion is the mark of a true gentleman, I shall not give the name to the ladies. Instead, they will be known as a gold and diamond locket engraved with my seal. So, like, the son is supposed to provide for these ladies, but he doesn't list their name. So, basically, the son, as he comes across these mistresses, he's supposed to know them by a locket that they wear. So, what the fuck? But I'm interested. Then I finally found a copy of Comanche Moon by Katherine Anderson. It obviously is not the original cover, and I'm still on the lookout for the original cover because I believe Comanche Moon came out in 1991. And I'm still looking for a first edition, but I came across this, so I was like, let me grab that up. Susan Johnson, Love Storm. Oh, I also got another one by her, but I put it somewhere else. That was actually contemporary. So Susan Johnson is actually born in Minnesota, in North Branch. So one of her books actually talks about like Ely, Minnesota, and some like really random places. But this one's a historical, and it's about this woman named Xena who is escaping a ballroom, and she threw herself at the mercy of a handsome stranger. He was her only hope to escape, her one guarantee of safety through the Caucasus Mountains. But Prince Alexander Kusan mistook her for a lady of the evening, the perfect plaything to relieve the boredom of his journey. Only after her exquisite innocence was revealed did most notorious rake in St. Petersburg realize that his delicious game of seduction had turned into a conquest of his heart. So I'm very interested because it says this is a erotic historical romance, maybe, or maybe the author writes erotic historical romance, but I was interested because it was Russian, which we don't see very often, and this takes place in 1899 too, so I don't know, I'm kind of interested in giving this a try, and I've heard she writes pretty sexy stuff. Then I have a Joan Johnson, and this one's called The Bodyguard, and it's Scottish. And like, look at this step back. He's like literally standing in front of her, and there's like a castle and stuff. So that's pretty interesting to me. And this one says, when the tall, rugged stranger stepped out of the shadows and rescued her from a fate worse than death, Catherine McKinnon knew she had found her bodyguard. With his steely arms and reckless courage, he would shield her from her clansmen, who refused to accept her as laird, and from the hated Duke of Blackthorn, who controlled her family's lands. As her desire grew for the mysterious man who was constantly by her side, she had no idea that she was falling in love with the enemy himself. So, very interested in that. I've never read a Joan Johnson either. Savage Surrender by Natasha Peters. Mostly I grabbed this one because it appears to be a first printing from 1977. So we're talking about, you know, the first decade of bodice rippers, and it definitely has a bodice ripper cover. Very interesting stuff in this picture here. There's like, the woman's kind of like being held back by this guy. She's holding a gun. He kind of looks like Harrison Ford, just a little bit. So I scooped this one up. And it takes place, yeah, I don't know. But I mostly grabbed it up because it was in really good condition and of the age that it was. So that's why I grabbed that up. I like to keep an eye out for those ones. Then I grabbed a Mary Balog that I actually read. It was one of my first Mary Balogs that I read when I first got into her. And it is the first in the, it's the first in this quintet about the Huxtable daughters. So this one is called First Comes Marriage. And yes, I have read all these. There's first, second, third, fourth, and then like finally. So grab that one. And we have another Liz Carlisle that I need to clean up. This one says Never Romance a Rake. It definitely needs a little bit of love to clean it up. Then I've got to keep it moving here. I found another Lee Greenwood. I got Texas 11. Just right to the point there. Shirley Busby, who I love her covers, so I've been grabbing these up. This one's called Midnight Masquerade. I love the dress that she's wearing. And this one takes place in Louisiana in 1812, which is just, that is interesting. Ooh, very fragile cover. It looks like it's been taped. Very cool. Then I found, this was not an original. I'm still on the lookout for a first printing of this one, but I love this cover of this book, and it's the Love Only Once by Joanna Lindsay, because I did find an original of Hearts of Flame, which was one that I was missing, but I'm still on the lookout for an OG. But I did really like this reprinting cover. I like, because I believe this is the first Mallory book, I think, but I'm still looking for a first printing of it, but that's okay. Ooh, another Shirley Busby, I forgot. Whisper to Me of Love. This one I've seen this step back before, and I wanted it. Look at the boobies. Look at the tatas. And the choker. Love it. I found a Karen Rainey. This one spoke to me because it was wintry. Even though I don't totally read ones just for winter, this one is A Scotsman in Love. And I like that it shows, we get like double clinch. We got our dress opening up back there, and then we got a front view right there. I like it. Rosemary Rogers. I've been looking for this one. This one is an In Your Arms. I love the step backs by Rosemary Rogers. This one is gorgeous. Look at her hair. And then an Anita Mills, Dangerous. Oh, this one. Look at this one. Another full page. Look at that gun right there. I love it. Then another Karen Rainey. This one is Upon a Wicked Time. So just a plain front, but then this is a back one. This one says, it was a marriage of convenience, except the innocent bride was determined to turn it into one of love. Well, don't we just love those determined brides? The Earl Is Mine by Kieran Kramer. I just love a good red dress right there. Another Sylvie F. Summerfield. This is another author that I just love the covers of her books. This one is Betray Not My Passion. And I really love like the circlet like in her hair there. Love this one. Jill Gregory. This was actually my step back from the other day, and this one is Never Love a Cowboy. And then I found, I believe this is an original cover. Let me double check. Yes, this one is of The Lion's Daughter by Loretta Chase, which I did already have, but I did not have this original cover, and I love it. And then the last two books I got, these have been recommended to me many, many times, and I was able to find both book 1 and 2. And that is The Lord of the Fading Lands by C.L. Wilson and Lady of Light and Shadows. And they were just there together, and I was like, there we go. So there we are. Those are all the books that I got in this book haul. Tried to keep it under 20 minutes, but I got distracted by the blurbs. So thank you so much for watching this. I love just sharing all these books with you, and thank you to everyone who sent me a present. It means so much to me that you care enough to send me a book, especially when I'm just so in awe of your generosity all the time. So thank you so much for watching. I put out new videos 4 times a week, so make sure you're subscribed to my channel and check out channel memberships if you'd like behind the scenes access to me. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.